started. Tonight, we are going to be talking about entrepreneurial mindset. And entrepreneurial mindset is, it's for me, it's one of those favorite topics because I believe there's a massive opportunity when one decides they want to become an entrepreneur and engage down that path. And I really want to talk about the essence of what that is and really how it can spill over to every other aspect of your life. And it has to do with the person that you're in the process of evolving and becoming into. So what I'll say about entrepreneurial spirit, let's take a step back and let's talk about us and let's talk about how we're actually hardwired. We have a body, we have a physical body, we call it our meat suit. And, with our meat suit, we live in this body every single day and we're aware of that. Yet there's people in the world that will use their body and there's other people that won't use their body. And there's causes and effects and results of that, whether you do or don't use it. We also have this thing called a mind. And our mind allows us to critically think, allows us to do things, allows us to analyze, allows us to make choices, allows us to move forward. And for me, life is all about that triune. It's about the mind, it's about the body, and it's about this thing called the spirit. And, for me, I've been studying the brain nervous system for over 2 decades, and I refer to that as the essence of who you are. It's that electricity that flows from your brain nervous system to all your cells and all your tissues, essentially animating your body and connecting your mind to your body. So together with that triune, we can create something quite remarkable. Now, here's the cool thing about it. When we actually think about the different areas of our life, we have personal lives, we have professional lives, we have tons of responsibilities going on, yet every single part of our life, whether we're athletic or we're deeply into music or our family, essentially has an essence of who we are in that, and that's infused in your sort of mind, body, spirit into that. So specifically, when you think about being an entrepreneur, which all of you have chosen to be entrepreneurs, there's a part of you in your essence in that spirit that gets infused into that as well. And today I want to spend a little bit of time talking about exactly what that is. If we take a step back from life, and I'd say to people, what you can be, you must be. What you can be, you must be. I'm going to say it one more time. What you can become, you must become. Now, why would I be saying that? Because that's the essence of that entrepreneurial spirit. If you have that big, audacious dream, vision, goal of how you could be serving people, sharing your products and services, making a difference in the world, the reality is, if you don't live up to that full potential, you're not going to feel fully fulfilled from the inside out. The analogy that I'd use is, let's pretend for a second all of you are superheroes, okay? Like you're like Superwoman or Superman, and that's like your greatest potential. Now imagine, Superman saying, yeah, I don't feel like being a superhero. I'm just going to sit on the couch and do nothing. Do you think he's going to feel fulfilled? Do you think he's going to feel absolutely amazing as a result of the choices that he's making in his life? Probably not. Now, on the flip side, if that Superman rolls up their sleeves and says, yes, I do want to do that. I do want to make a difference, and I do want to save lives, and whatever superheroes do, and to make that, go out there and do that, it's the same with you. If you have any ideas in terms of your dreams, your ambitions, and what you can do as an entrepreneur, it's almost like that's like the universe giving you a glimpse of what's possible. And then it's about stepping back to where you are and saying, am I comfortable, being in safety, or do I want to grow? Because the reality of life, my actual definition of happiness is growth. As long as you're growing, as long as you're moving the needle forward in your life, you're actually happy. And that's the reality. It actually doesn't matter where you are in the spectrum in terms of you blowing up your business and not blowing up your business. But if you are growing, if you're rolling up your sleeves, you're doing the work, you're growing, you're actually going to bed at the end of the day feeling happy, feeling fulfilled. And I say, like, we can be in safety or we can be in growth. So think of it like this: when you're in safety, it's like Superman sitting on the couch. It's like you not going out there trying to express what you know is possible, because you haven't become the person that's sort of worthy of those visions, dreams, and goals. You have to like lean into it. You have to roll up your sleeves. You sort of have to like get to work, so that becomes a possibility. So if you take a step back, one of the things I want you to take from this webinar today is I want you to really think about your vision. I really want you to think about your purpose, and like, where would you like to see yourself going? Like, what is your vision? You know, like for me, I said to myself well over a decade ago, my vision is to really help people express their full potential. So anything that comes my way, does this help people express their full potential? It's really simple, yes or no. Can that help me help others express their full potential? Yes, no. So like, what's your vision? Your vision can't be, I want to sell lots of products. I want to sell my services. That's not a vision. That's like more of a goal. Your vision has to be about somebody else. How will it impact the people, the places that are infused with your essence, your entrepreneurial spirit? Like, how are people going to be left as a result of being in contact with you? How are people going to be affected by you? What are people going to think about when they speak of you and they talk about you, and they'll be like, oh, well, so-and-so is in my life and they make me feel X, Y, and Z. You know, that's really the essence of really thinking about nailing down what your actual vision and what your actual purpose is. And when you write that down and nail that down, I actually invite you to put that in a place that you see it every single day. And the reason why you have to put it in a place that you see it every single day is because of this. I want you to get another piece of paper, and on that piece of paper, I want you to draw a really, really large circle. And with that large circle, okay, I want you to put a dot right in the middle of that circle. When you put a dot in the middle of that circle, that, my friends, is your comfort zone. Right there, right in the middle of that circle, that's your comfort zone. In that place, there is no growth. Because there's no growth in that place, you're actually not feeling deeply fulfilled. You're not feeling happy, and you're not fulfilling your vision. You're not fulfilling your purpose. You're not making the difference that you can be, because you're Superman sitting on the couch watching TV, and your potential is so much greater than that. Now, when you see that circle, right at the edge of that circle, that's the edge of your comfort zone. That's you getting outside of your comfort zone. And outside that circle, what I want you to write is IP. Okay, I want you to write IP a few times in big letters around that circle. Now, what does IP stand for? IP stands for your infinite potential. Okay, so all those things that you dream about, all those things that you know can be possible for you, that's your infinite potential. That's your IP. That's you fully living the things that you know you can become, you can lean into, the things that you deserve, the impact that you can make. Here's the caveat. In order to cross that line from your comfort zone to your full potential, you have to get uncomfortable. You have to. In fact, there's no growth is possible if you don't step out of your comfort zone. You know, use the simple analogy of, you know, I wanted a stronger muscle and I started like lifting weights. Over time, that same weight is within my comfort zone. Let's say at first it's a 15-pound dumbbell. Well, at first that might build some muscle for me, but over time that decreases the stress and strain in my system. It's no longer outside of my comfort zone. My muscle, my bicep stops responding. What do I have to do? I have to pick up a 20-pound or a 25-pound dumbbell. So my question to you, and the question I want you to ask yourself, is what dumbbells are you raising for yourself? What dumbbells are you impacting? So are you picking up the same 5 or 10-pound dumbbells, or are you going 5 or 10 pounds heavier every single week, moving the needle forward of what's possible? So again, you can step back into safety or forward into growth. You can stay in your comfort zone, or you can take the leap over that boundary into your potential, which is uncomfortable, which is where growth lives. There's not a lot of safety there. Because here's the deal with being an entrepreneur. When you truly embrace the entrepreneurial spirit, you understand, my friend, you understand that it's not always going to work out. And here's the deal. This is why 90% of businesses fail, is because when things don't work out, people give up because they don't have the resiliency. They don't have the adaptability to stay connected to their vision. If you're so committed to living your purpose and your vision, you're gonna fail. You're gonna fall on your face. I've failed way more in my life than I've succeeded. Yet when people look at other people, we only see their successes. We only see their accolades of all the beauty and the gifts they brought to the world. We don't hear about 90% of the time they fell on their face and they like completely just blew up what in fact they were doing. People talk about overnight successes. And overnight success, we don't hear about the decade and a half of work that went into them becoming a certain person before they became an overnight success, because that actually doesn't really exist. So stepping out of your comfort zone is a huge piece. And I want to give you a really powerful tool. One of the tools that a researcher developed to really help people achieve what they're meant to do, especially in an entrepreneurial space, is something by the name of WOOP. So WOOP. For those of you who used to watch Arsenio Hall back in the 80s, he used to do this like whoop thing in the air. That's what I'm talking about. WOOP. WOOP. It was developed by a researcher called Gabrielle Ottinger. And what I want to tell you is that WOOP stands for something. So let's take the W. The W stands for your wish, okay? So a little bit different than your purpose and your vision. The W actually stands for your why you're doing what you're doing. It's your wish, what your big audacious wishes, but it's really why you're gonna do that. The next letter, the O, stands for your outcome. Now, your outcome are the benefits. So if your wish is to have, like, say, a 6-figure business or a 7-figure business, your outcome is going to be, if I had that business, what are the benefits of actually having that business, right? What are the outcome there? The benefits that you're going to receive. And here's the deal. I don't want you to do this in theory. I want you to do this in practice, okay? So do this in practice. 90% of entrepreneurs fail because they do everything in theory. I want you to put pen to paper, get to work, and actually do this. So you have the W, which is your wish, your big audacious dream. You have the first O, which is your outcome, the benefits that you're going to receive as a result of fulfilling that big wish and dream of yours. Now, here's where things get really interesting. The majority of people, the majority of entrepreneurs will stop there. And this is where the research actually comes in, because the reality is we know if we're going to go after it, we know if we're going to roll up our sleeves and get something done in our lives to make something of ourselves and our business, we're going to get out of our comfort zone. We're going to make mistakes. And a lot of people are so focused on their wish and the benefits. When they make mistakes, all of a sudden they're feeling down, they're feeling sad, they're feeling like their energy is getting zapped, and they just can't pursue forward. So the second O in WOOP actually stands for obstacles. So it's like presupposing, if I go for my wish and I'm gonna have these benefits, these are the obstacles I'm gonna face. People aren't gonna want my product services, people aren't gonna believe in me, people aren't gonna trust me. I want you to write down every single obstacle, challenge that you can possibly think of. This is what the research shows, because when you do that, you actually start to hardwire your brain to look for solutions. Here's the cool thing about our brain and nervous system. The second you challenge it, it looks for a solution. The second you challenge it, it looks for a solution. So when you write down what your obstacles are, you're essentially rubbing your dream up against reality and writing down what every single obstacle there could be. All those challenges, writing them all, putting pen to paper. You're actually like foreshadowing of what could potentially happen. Now, here's where it gets really, really interesting. The final P stands for plan. So we got our wish, we got our outcome benefits, we have our obstacles, then we have a plan. Okay, someone doesn't want your product and services. What are you gonna do? Someone's not gonna take you seriously. What are you gonna do? Someone's not gonna trust you. What are you going to do? You have to write down a plan, because here's the deal. The majority of people can foreshadow the challenges and obstacles they are gonna face. And as a result of having a plan, you're gonna be more equipped, more empowered to growing into the person that's capable of having the resilience and responding to those challenges versus reacting, getting emotional, and being challenged yourself, throwing in the white towel, and actually giving up. Last piece I want to share with you. So you got your vision, you got your big dream, you've got your wish, you've got your outcome, you got your obstacles, you got your plan. Last thing is what I talk about is emotional stamina. Here's the deal, my friends. When we get up each day, it's impossible to feel deeply inspired to do the work that's required to fulfill that entrepreneurial spirit. It's impossible, because from a biological standpoint, you can't have all those hormones and chemicals flowing around 24/7. It just won't happen. Some days you're gonna be on, other days you're gonna be 80% of that, other days you're gonna be 20% of that. Here's the deal, my friends. When you're feeling least inspired is when you must do the work the most. The true entrepreneurs, when they're least inspired, they roll up their sleeves and get it done. When you're in flow, it's easy to get stuff done. And the reality is you're not going to be in flow each and every day. It's when you're not there that you roll up your sleeves, because as a result of rolling up your sleeves and doing what must be done out of your comfort zone, fulfilling that dream vision, knowing there's going to be obstacles, is you start to decrease the probability of you having those lower and lower days. As a result, you're more empowered to step forward. And being more empowered to step forward, all this journey is, my friends, you may think it's about the business, you may think it's about the dollars, you may think it's about the accolades, but truly, the true part of being an entrepreneur is growing into the person that's worthy of receiving and achieving those dreams and those goals. I hope you enjoyed this webinar, my friends. I'm gonna pop up a screen for all of you here, and I just wanna show you what we're gonna be talking about next week. Genio, our global managing director, is gonna be talking about duplication. Now, a little bit about Genio. He has over 25 years in this industry. He's an entrepreneur, great speaker. He's a sales trainer and a personal development specialist. He's got a double major in chemical engineering and kinesiology, and he's built a 7-figure business, 7 figures in sales annually. So this person knows how to get it done. This person knows how to get out of their comfort zone. This person knows how to make stuff happen. So have a great week, my friends, and I look forward to seeing you next time.